What's going on, all you lovely people of YouTube? Unpredictable60 here, bringing you guys the next Naruto Road to Boruto. Again, I do understand this is not the actual Road to Boruto, but this is just little something I want to do in preparation for the actual title update. So this is going to be a story mission. We're going to do Guy versus Madara, and I wanted to do this battle because this is probably one of the most significant battles in Naruto history, because we have never seen anyone use this much energy in one fight before than we have seen with Guy Sensei and Madara. And I know a lot of people who probably didn't like Guy Sensei that much probably found a new respect for him in the aspect of being able to see how powerful he actually was. He was almost equivalent to a Dragon Ball Z character in my opinion, but I mean, his power level far exceeded anybody else in this series that I've ever seen. You know, now that they're older, they might actually have someone who's strong enough to match what he did. But I don't even think Naruto, which I think would be a good what if battle. I might have to do that next. Naruto in his Sage mode, or his whatever mode you call it, whenever the Sage of the Six Paths gave him, I guess Sage of the Six Paths mode, versus Guy Sensei, because Guy Sensei unlocking the Gate of Death versus Naruto in his Sage of Six Paths mode would be a very interesting battle in my opinion, and it'd be hard to say who'd win. Now, of course, there was a lot of different things and a lot of different ways people say this could have went, and you know, I just think that Guy Sensei did a very heroic thing. Of course, we all know that he was trying to be the hero here and trying not out of anything like I'm trying to show you guys how strong I am, but he was trying to do it to protect everyone. He was trying to do it in hopes of killing Madara, which didn't turn out in his favor. He ended up actually losing. Well, I wouldn't say he lost. He did a good deal of damage, but it pretty much seemed like it was all for nothing, considering Madara is able to regenerate his health due to the cells of Hashirama that he stole. Not to mention, he had a very large chakra reserve, considering he was also the equivalent of the Sage of the Six Paths. Though he was an imposter, he pretty much had all the chakra that he needed to survive a blow from Might Guy, as you guys witnessed. I do think this was probably one of my favorite battles because I just really enjoyed how they portrayed Might Guy. You know, Might Guy never really had a chance to show his full capability. We have seen him fight Kisame before. We have seen him somewhat fight Itachi, not really. We have seen him fight, I want to say, we've seen him somewhat fight Kakashi, but it wasn't anything serious like this. So I really do think that I have to give a lot of credit to the people who did this fight, and just Might Guy in general, because even if he wasn't your favorite character at first, he can still be pretty high on the list to be a favorite character, and I'm pretty sure he's a lot of different people's favorite character. He's unfortunately not one of mine. I do respect what he's about. I do like that he uses taijutsu. I like that he's like the only one that's like very skilled at what he does, and I want to say probably no one can beat him in this series, especially if he were to get this serious on anybody, because we know that move that he used would have definitely killed someone. The only reason Madara survived was because of Hashirama's cells. If not for that, Madara would have been a dead man, in my opinion. Now, you guys are welcome to leave in the comment section below if you want to challenge my opinion and think that Might Guy just wasn't strong enough in general to defeat Madara, even if, you know, Madara didn't have Hashirama's cells. I just think that's one of the reasons he was able to withstand a hit that heavy, because the dude's body was half gone. And I want to say it was on the side of where his heart was. If not, it was still a part. I believe one of his lungs was missing. I mean, you can't survive something like that. So that's my argument. So if you guys want to leave in the comment section below as to whether you think that Madara would have survived Hashirama's cells or not, then go ahead and do that. You're welcome to challenge my opinion, just so I can see who all has a different opinion than I do. Now, if you agree with me, that's cool. We're on the same page. I like that. You know, we always can conversate about anything that you thought was cool about this fight, or one of your favorite aspects of this fight. But I think one of my other favorite things about this whole thing was the fact that they all had to collaborate. Even with Might Guy being as strong as he was and doing all this damage, they still had to back him up. Kakashi, Lee, Gaara, and even the the fourth Hokage had to back up the Might Guy, just because they had to help him out. It wasn't like he could just do it on his own, because he would have had to do a lot more work, and his body wasn't able to hold up. I mean, we saw that Might Guy was struggling. He was struggling to keep it all together, but he still managed to do what he needed to do in order to do enough damage to, I guess, weaken Madara. It's really hard to say that he was weakened in any way because, like I said, Hashirama cells are something that's not something to mess with. You know, if you have that, you pretty much are invincible because your cells are going to regenerate in almost a nick of time. So it's kind of hard to do damage to someone who immediately regenerates. So it's kind of like, you know, I know there was a lot of different things going on because in the game they don't do every little detail that they did in the show. I do prefer the way the show did it because it had a lot more details that were not portrayed in the game. Such as Gaara was supposed to be in this scene, and Minato was not supposed to have either of his arms because they had already recently been taken away from him because he was already fighting before. So that was one of the things that was kind of inaccurate, and I can't blame them though. They did still do a pretty good job, and they for the most part added all of the effect that was in the actual TV show. And I mean, even this stuff right here is just really cool to see, and it was just really well executed in my opinion, despite the fact that they didn't actually use all of the little details that they had in the show. So I still would have to say this was a pretty cool thing to see, and I love what they do with this game is allow you to actually interact with the scene and actually press buttons to keep this thing going and making it look cool. So I think that's one of the things that make this game cool, and I just really like that my guy was the one who was able to do this. This move itself is just really cool in my opinion. Like I said, right here, they don't even have it to where, and I guess it's just because of the way the ratings are for this game. I want to say this game is like rated T for teen, could be, but they also could have it rated M. I think it's rated T though. Not perfectly sure about that, and I think the rating also has to do with the fact that there was no gore or enough blood or something like that, and that's probably why they didn't have Minato's arms missing. There was probably why they didn't have Madara's whole body like dismembered like it was and just taken off. So I guess that's probably one of the reasons that they didn't. But as you guys can see, this was like one of my favorite fights in the whole series. But thank you all for watching this video. If you guys have any comments or questions, you know where to leave them down below in the comment section. If you have anything you would like to add or even challenge me on that opinion I had earlier, go ahead and do that too in the comment section. For all you Naruto fans, go ahead and subscribe because there will be a lot more Naruto content coming your way, especially with World to Boruto coming out soon. And there will also be a lot of online matches for those of you who have Xbox One and would like to face me. And if you want to go ahead and rate that like button, go ahead and do that and share the video so we can get this to as many people as we can. And on that note, this has been your broadcast. Until next time.